Let's start off, first thing on the agenda is the substitute onboarding. I really thought this was a good work of education.
Thanks.
You know, it really is like, all you want to know about being a sub.
Yeah, so really, again, just for informational for you guys, but we know that there's a shortage of substitutes, we can't find substitutes. So I really want people who decide to substitute MTSD to have a really great experience and want us to be the preferred place to work in the region. They did have a previous substitute handbook, it was a little outdated, and you know, what I did is I scored every district I could find and stole all the best parts of everybody's
Oh, yeah, I wondered-
handbooks to put together my own, and tried to just really kind of make it, I mean, there's a lot of words, right, but try to also make it as simple as possible to understand. Yeah, Mary?
Two questions.
Yeah.
So when I read the title, substitute, it seems more geared toward a teacher than a paraprofessional. Or do you have a separate one for them, or how you?
I'm gonna do it for, this is gonna be for everybody.
Okay.
We're gonna try it this year for everybody. I have a custodian coming in too. So along with this handbook, what I'm doing, is we are gonna start holding onboarding sessions for our substitutes, because in the past, we literally hired you.
Yep.
We did a few things, then we said, here you go, show up at this school. So now actually tomorrow's our first session. I have 4 subs coming in, 1 custodian, and then 3 teacher subs coming in. I'm gonna go through some of the information here with them. We're gonna show them our safety video. We're gonna talk about threats of violence. We're gonna talk about mandatory reporting. We're gonna talk about some situations. You can see in here, I put like a handout about like newcomers and multilingual students in the classroom. Because some people have no idea what to do when they approach students who don't speak English. Same thing with special education students, a variety of special ed students. So we're gonna do about an hour and a half of training with them tomorrow morning. And then one of the things I'm giving those new subs is the option to do a shadow in the afternoon. So they can choose to or choose not to, but they can shadow a substitute teacher for the afternoon. Again, just thinking, the people that all want to do this are people who are not substitutes in the past. I have 2 retired teachers actually I hired, and they're like, I don't need to shadow anybody. Like, I'm good. But people who have never subbed before, the ability to follow and work with we have building subs at each building, so every school building has a permanent substitute at it.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. What's a building sub?
Yep, so the building sub will help then shadow, and they'll be able to have that experience. And I
Each
let them
building has
choose.
their own?
Each building has their own.
And did you say you're paying for the shadow or not?
We are paying them to come in,
Okay, great.
and I'm giving them lunch.
Wow, that's
On
pretty
page
nice.
14, like, I know what an ML is,
14.
but I wondered if maybe that could be clarified in
Yep.
the title.
Yep, multilingual learners.
I think sometimes when we bring
Oh, yeah.
subs in, and we start with all of our jargon, it gets, right?
No kidding.
And then on the next page, you did identify all those acronyms, so that was helpful.
I'm gonna give a shout out to the special ed department for helping me put that page together, so.
Yeah, this is awesome, Steve.
But you'll see that there's the emergency handout that we have at all of our buildings. And then I did ask elementary, middle, and high school just to give me some really general behavior expectations. Like, I don't need to get in the weeds of you chew gum and buildings and all those things. So you'll see that there are just some very general middle school expectations, Lincoln High School expectations. So again, especially for people who have not been in schools a lot, to understand how we operate, what are our expectations. So this is the first draft, and tomorrow will be the first session, so I'm sure I'll learn some things after that. And we'll continue to revise and make it better, but wanted to at least let you know what we're doing to try to keep subs, retain subs, and make us a preferred district for subs.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, really
Are
good.
lesson plans delivered through Frontline as well?
Depends on the school and depends on the person. Some teachers attach them in Frontline, some teachers leave them on their desk, some people leave them with the desk and the secretary. So it's not consistent across the district.
Makes sense. Thank you, nice job.
Good.
Any other questions about that?
So that one you don't need.
No action. I just, again, want to keep you guys.
We don't need any action.
What we're working on.
Administrative handbook, we do need action on that, and this is this is pretty much this is the cleanup, the final cleanup at this point?
This is the get caught
Yeah,
up cleanup.
yeah.
This is not no major changes, kind of like I did with the support handbook and with the
Yeah.
professional staff handbook. Again, you'll just see like on the first page, some wording changes. Instead of saying pupil services, we're saying student services. Instead of saying junior high, we're saying middle school. Updated the dollar amounts to more accurately reflect our, what we have on our matrices. On page 3, where the evaluation section is, really just a change in language, that number 2, basically saying we're gonna use the Wisconsin Administrator Standards to evaluate our administrators. So instead of just saying established criteria, because that's.
You know, I had a question on
Yeah,
on page 3 as well, and each administrator shall be evaluated on the basis of, but evaluated by whom?
it depends on who it is. So associate principals are evaluated by their principal.
I see.
Principals are evaluated by the directors. And then, Mr. Tennis evaluates us directors.
Okay, all right.
So for example, Heidi basically supervises the elementary group
Yep.
and Katie supervises the secondary group.
Yeah, on page 4, I had a question about, originally, it says per year, per school year. What is, okay, I guess it's cleaned up in the new stuff. It's the academic year, right?
For section, the
Credits.
course
Yeah,
funds?
section is, compensation
Yep,
equals.
so the school
credit
year,
fund.
yep. So on that page 4, really pretty easy cleanup, just that we're gonna work on having people sign job descriptions. That's gonna be something I'm gonna move forward with in the future, that you can see your job description, sign that. The direct deposit is exactly the same thing that's happened with professional and support staff, again, just clean up. Since the administrator group is so small, I did verify with the business department, nobody had 3 accounts, so I just got rid of that, and didn't even have to put anything about keeping it in for people that had it. Course credit fund, that was one change. In the previous, it said 6 college credits. Those people that are enrolled in programs, most people
Yeah.
are taking 6 credits a term, for 2 terms. So we changed it to 12 credits, rather than 6 credits. And then obviously the cost of a credit at Madison has gone up, so I just noted the cost.
Yeah, no, that's-
So it's full reimbursement?
Correct, up to that cost.
And if we have an administrator or somebody earn an advanced degree like this and they leave us, do we ever recoup that? Is there any language?
There's no language currently in our handbook to recoup that.
Just curious, thank you.
It's something we could, I mean, I've experienced that, so I know
Yeah.
that we say if you leave within so much time. On page 5, school forest overnight payment, I literally just updated this to exact same as professional staff. I giggled a little bit when it said that administrators were gonna get $75 a night to stay at the school forest, but teachers
Oh, yeah.
200. So I just,
Good luck in
again, just
getting
made
the
it,
goods.
the same. Section H, which starts on page 5 with post-employment benefits and guidelines, goes on to page 6. Really just, basically, we used to have this appendix sheet you fill out if you were gonna retire, and you had to put your retirement, we're just basically saying, send us a letter. And now we have no administrators hired prior to 2003, so I just removed that language so it doesn't get confusing. Lee and I went through the list, we're like, okay, we got this. On page 6 also, special pay deferral, which goes on to page 7. Same things, removed section AI, as we have no administrators hired prior to 2003. So no language change to what was in there, but just got rid of the part that said, if you were hired prior to July 1 of 2003. We don't have anybody there anymore. Post-employment medical, again, remove the language for prior than 2004. Same thing with dental on page 8. And then the last 2 sections, on page 8 and page 9, the absence due to illness, and then the absence due to death and family, it just made that match what's in the professional staff in terms of funeral leave, and then up to the 120 days to long-term disability. So no major, the only, I would say, major change was the credits, from 6 to 12 credits.
Yeah,
I move to approve the administrator handbook updates.
Second.
October 2025.
okay, all in favor? Aye?
Second.
Okay,
Yeah, Mary did.
all right, good. Support staff evaluation.
Yep, what I should have done is printed off the old support staff evaluation form for you to see. When I was a principal here, I complained about it for many years because it did not have good indicators. It was very generic. It did not fit. So again, just looked at what else was out there and what other districts are doing and stole the best. And this again is based on the Wisconsin Human Resources Handbook. So I just want, again, this is information only. This has been shared with support staff already. So all support staff, clerical, custodial, paraprofessionals, anybody in that support staff role, this is the evaluation that will be used with them every year. So you can see there's 6 components: job knowledge, communication, organization and accountability, problem solving, decision making, interpersonal skills, and professional customer service. These were created generic enough that it doesn't say like how well you clean the floors or how well you answer the phone. But you will see the indicators at the bottom is what they'll be evaluated on every year. The initial feedback that I have gotten has been great. This will actually give me feedback I can use to know what I'm doing well and know what I need to improve on. We also are asking all of our support staff, when they are under evaluation, to do a self-evaluation. So to look at this criteria and to say, what areas am I strong in? What areas do I want to continue to work in and improve in? So that way then their supervisor can work with them to know these are areas they want to improve, and then how can they help foster that improvement. So I'm just hoping it's a little more clear for our support staff. It gets better feedback, gives us a better tool to be able to talk to folks about how they're doing.
Are the office aides considered support
Yes.
staff? They are.
So it's very consistent across the board, and,
Yep.
and the expectations are abundantly clear.
Yeah.
And I think the positive thing is what you said, it's like, oh gee, I didn't do so well on that, maybe I should, you know.
Right. And
I thought it was really,
And the goal of feedback and goal of evaluation is what I tell people, I'm like, it's not a gotcha. It's a way to say,
Yeah,
hey, here's what the expectation is, and then here's what can I help you with, or oh my gosh, you're great at this, can I have you help this person? So it's really to give us good feedback, so we can help
but
each other.
you say that right up in the preference, like, you know, employee self-evaluation, and then down here, you know, how to, you know, it's really designed to make, you know, encourage improvements.
And all new staff have an evaluation done in the first 90 days. Now, I've extended that to first semester this year because this is brand new being rolled out. But typically, it's 90 days. Within your first 90 days, you have an evaluation, and then you have one at the end of your first year. The whole point of that as well is if I'm a new employee, no new employee should wait 9 months to say, you're not really, this is not going well. So we want to make sure we're giving
Yeah,
feedback to people
right.
when they need it.
No, that's good.
So just, again, for your information, but wanted to share that with you as well.
Yeah. So, all right, that's good. 100 days plan.
Yeah, so we have our first one coming around. It's
Yeah,
hard to believe.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
been nearly 100 days since
Holy
we,
man.
I think, first talked about this one in July. This is our 100-day plan report for communication and engagement. So, what we'll do is, again, as a reminder, and I sort of mentioned it in the memo, is, you know, we've staggered these a little bit, so this is the first one we did. It was on its own. Next month, there'll be 4 of them, 2 of them coming through here. Stacy's one on hiring and retaining the best, and then mine on organizational structure. And then 2 of them will go to curriculum, which is the student achievement and the student well-being. And then the operations side that will go to finance and facilities will come in January. So we've got that cycle right now. Formatting wise, I think you'll notice, what I did was I had there was a copy of the, you know, what we went over, the first 30 days, 60 days, to 100 days. And that had our action steps and indicators of success. And then what we tried to do on the third column is we added the column evidence. So what we've got is some outcomes of some of the work that we've done. So I'm gonna just walk through and highlight a few of the things. I know you had this in written form that you could go and check out different links and things, but what we have done is a couple major things, in my opinion. The first question is to find out where we are. So we did a series of communication surveys. We did one from the perspective of district office to staff, and how we're doing with that. We did one, building administration to staff, and we did one school/teacher to families. Okay, and we sent these out, we received the results, and I think you saw there's a link to the executive summary, but the key takeaways from this survey is, first of all, we did pretty well. Overall percentages were above 80% satisfactory on all virtually of the categories. Our our building administration had high marks from their staff in terms of communication. We asked some specific questions about the ways we communicate, what mode we use. Just as an example, in the building administration to staff one, we got feedback that people really appreciate our newsletter, but sometimes it's overwhelming because it's a lot, right?
Yeah, right.
And so, there's key takeaways to that, right? How can we message things in a little bit maybe more succinct way, which I'm not so always good at, but, we talked about our key takeaways being that communication is valued by everyone. Clarity and organization of our communications do matter, and when messages are long, sometimes the key details can be lost. So, and then having consistency is a big deal. And then what we want to do with this in terms of next steps is to go over these results with our administrative team so that they're looking at this within their own set of communications as well as our director team. And then we will make this an annual check-in so we can measure how we're doing in terms of communication. We also performed a communications audit where we're looking specifically at our school's social media accounts and usage. We also are looking at how often their websites are being updated. What we're really trying to do is, again, as I mentioned in July, is create a standard across the district. So what will happen next in the next 100 days is, now that that audit's been complete, and again, there's a link to it in your report. We did okay on a number of things, but there's also areas to improve. So what Ruby's doing next is she's actually going to be the ambassador of this, and she's gonna go out and meet with building secretaries and principals around the results of the audit.
So
and
she's a
talk about-
communication specialist then?
Yeah, she's working with us
So
on
that's
that.
Ruby ahead of.
Yeah. And so, the plan is for that to take place over this next 100 days. And then, again, we have a way to monitor how those suggestions and changes are being made. In addition to that,
Can I stop you a second?
Sure.
I think it would also be cool, with the idea of Ferry,
Yeah, I'd love it.
to anchor some of those social media posts to the big rocks.
Oh,
Do you know where I'm going?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
So,
That makes sense, yeah.
That's a
I've-
good
Well, yeah.
I've seen lately some
real
really cool activities here for the start of the school
Yeah.
year. And I'm like, I think that's in support of
Yep.
X, Y, or Z, and helping our community make that connection,
Yep. Love it.
would be powerful.
Yeah. And then I hope you also saw, we are going to continue to monitor our impact on social media by producing a monthly report of our social media progress. This really highlights things. This can be useful because we can share this information with our school pages, and then they're able to know what's hitting. The idea is for us to hit the sweet spot in terms of how often we're posting, the type of messages that we're posting that get the most traction. Obviously, we measure that by our viewership. I did ask a question, Nicole Sandali, who's fantastic, and she's in Sheboygan. She's been the communications person there for years. I asked her specifically about social media, and what she said was, I was always told your goal is to have social media following that matches your student enrollment. So, ours is about 4,300, but we have over 6,500 people following our district page, which is actually pretty good. We get pretty good traction on that, and so, what we want to do is continue to not only maintain that, but even how can we grow that? Because, it's a great tool to be able to show exactly what you're saying, Mary. And now with that is even more, how do we connect to the strategic vision that we have for things and make sure people know what we're doing to work on those things. So, Yeah, in addition, we've also done some work on volunteering, cause that was part of this as well. Stacy, thank you for your help on that. We really wanted to, first of all, make sure we have a process in place that's really sound for making sure we have the right people working with our kids. So we were successfully able to do that. We also wanted to examine how we are, doing volunteers at each school, because what we're hoping for and envisioning for is to standardize that and then have a mechanism in place. Where we're going to next is, how do we create a system in which we can have offerings for volunteering, and then people can match up, with what it is they truly want to do, in what schools they want to be in, and those sorts of things, which we don't really have right now. We have schools independently working on securing their volunteers, which I will say, the goal of this was to increase volunteerism. I would tell you that we have more volunteers than I thought. So one thing in looking into this is we actually have a fair amount of volunteers. Stacy, do you recall offhand, like ballpark, how many we had go through that background process for volunteers?
There's been a lot.
Dozens.
I would say that Sasha gets an envelope of 7 volunteer forms a day recently.
Yeah.
It's a lot, because it's the beginning of the year, so it's the
Yeah.
background checks and things, so, I can see if I can find the sheet quick though, because we have,
But here it was where I thought this was just an area that, geez, we got to really get going on getting volunteers.
Yeah.
But I'm fine, we actually have quite a few.
we've run 163 background checks on volunteers since the beginning of the year.
I think I said, one of the numbers I mentioned in our first meeting was 75. So
Oh, wow.
I think we're already past that, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Yep.
In addition to those things, we're really working on putting together a newsletter for district-wide consumption to take place before the end of the calendar year. That would go out to the entire district,
Yeah.
mailer one. We've been doing a lot of reaching out, and I'm sure I sort of try to keep you informed through my superintendent report, but I've done a number of presentations in front of civic and governmental
Yeah, I saw that.
organizations over the last couple of months. It will be a goal to continue to do that. If
3
you
a
see in
month,
the-
you said?
Yeah, yep, and
That's good.
those have been very helpful, not only helping share the message of what it is we're trying to accomplish as a district. It helps people to know where we're headed. And whether it be the city council meeting or the Chamber of Commerce meeting, we've gotten positive feedback from those visits. And I really appreciate them inviting. They were all invitations. I didn't I'm not begging to get in, but they've invited us in, which I think is fantastic. And real specifically at the city council meeting, I really talked a lot about how thriving communities work together, and they plan together, and they partner together. And I gave some examples around the state of how municipalities have worked with school districts to create an environment in which growth can happen for all, which is what I think, if you look at some of these communities that are thriving, it's because they work together.
Yeah,
So those have been
that's good.
really good. And so that kind of provides sort of a general summary of some of the things I think are the most important in here. But I'd be happy to take any questions, comments, or suggestions as far as this work moving forward.
I don't know, I underlined, amount of information can feel overwhelming. That's partly a result of, coming out of the blocks and starting a whole lot of things in motion. And it'll settle down. And, but I think what's good is that you've got a lot to report, which should raise, optimism in the community and among the staff, et cetera, that it's a very dynamic period right now. So, yeah.
I think every time you raise awareness, you raise accountability, you raise respect, you raise all of those things when you communicate, and they know what's going on for real, rather than trying to hide things. I think it's
Yeah.
just, that community, that's the most important part there is.
So every good thing we get as a result of what's being set in motion just reinforces the positive
Correct.
in the community.
Correct.
Yeah, that's really good, I think. And we want to, like, the book that I borrowed from you to read, you know, like this, Playing to Our Strengths. This sets us up to talk about our strengths instead of
Right.
what we've been talking about for the last few years about our, you know, not such great academic achievement, not this, bad buildings, et cetera, but
But we can do both, because I think
Well, we
some of
can
the
do
way
both,
we
yeah.
communicate on the other end is, hey, folks, here's where we're at.
Yeah.
But here's what we're gonna do
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
you know, and I think that people appreciate, you know, if you have things that you want to improve, the question is what do you plan to do to get to that next level? And I think that's what's special about, for example, you know, Big Rock's numbers, you know, 1, I think, and 3, which are our student achievement
Yeah.
and our student well-being. And I think what I'm hoping you see is the strong connection between what we're bringing to your committees, for example, just even in the last one, about student achievement and the data we're using. And, but not only that, student well-being, we have a piece in there about, you know, a group of kids that we're serving that, you know, there needs to be awareness around. And so these are all strategic, right, in that vision, and getting everybody really, when we're educating the board, we're also educating the public,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is key.
But we're not just doing propaganda here.
No.
I mean, this
These
is
are
real
things.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the example of the Biden administration, quote unquote, not getting credit is a result of really piss poor, a communication plan. And, to really emphasize the positive stuff. While we identify problems and say, okay, we're doing this, but we already have stuff to talk about in terms of, you know, the baseball field and the roof on Lincoln and, you know, the improvements that were made this past summer. So it's like, yeah, it's, but you have to tell the story.
do.
Yeah,
It doesn't tell itself.
yeah, doesn't tell itself.
I appreciate it.
I think
Thank you. Nice.
research shows us the number one thing parents wanna know though, families, is how's my kid doing?
Yeah,
Yep.
yep,
So we have to balance those efforts
yep.
and meet the needs of our families and their desires, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice job, Lee.
All right, last roundup here now, guys. The policies, you know, there was the first one, the employment of substitutes, didn't raise any questions with me. Does anybody have any comment on that?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Geez, the second one, oh, the second one was, entrance age, and I had a comment on first grade, first paragraph. And my recommendation is to keep the sentences. There's a confusion here where it says, year in which the student enrolls, period. Then an elimination of the, which I think you want to keep the because it's a separate sentence and it has to,
Carrie, where are you again?
I'm on entrance age,
First grade,
which is B, first grade.
Okay.
First paragraph, the child must be 6 years of age before September the 1st in the school year in which the student enrolls, period. Then I don't know why the is eliminated, because it has to be a distinctive sentence. So it's the student must also have completed the kindergarten program and received the waiver. So I'm just saying, keep the two sentences clear. Just, it's more of a punctuation thing and,
Yeah, we can change that.
yeah. And that was all I had on that. Did anybody
I
else?
think, that workshop that we attended in Kiel, this statement that you must have completed a kindergarten program, a parent can put their child into first grade without going to kindergarten.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
You don't have to go to kindergarten.
And I think
Yeah,
that's why it says, that they receive a waiver.
Receive a waiver, yeah. But it does say, I
How
mean,
often
it
does that happen, Lee?
I'm not,
does say
I'm
must.
not.
it does say
aware of
must.
It
that.
says, and that's a pretty
Stacy,
strong,
in your
that's
time as an
a
elementary.
pretty strong. I guess we could
Yeah.
recommend the sentence be changed, the student, if it has not completed kindergarten program, may receive a waiver, or may receive a waiver of yeah?
Well, here's what I think of, like, if we, in the past, like, I've had a student come who has not ever been in school, who's like 9 years old. I'm not gonna place that kid in kindergarten. They've been homeschooled.
You're not, yeah.
Yeah, so we'd place them at their developmental, or their, their age level, with their age level peers. So I'm wondering, I'm thinking of that's what the waiver piece, like, is the waiver just the district saying,
The
I don't know,
rest of
maybe that
it,
paragraph needs some work.
1, 2, and 3 go on to explain the waiver situation.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's
yeah.
pretty clear.
Yeah, well, just cleaning up the pros.
number 3 would be the
thing, but
situation.
I guess the student must, is a pretty strong statement. That's very emphatic. The student must also have completed. I mean, we could change that. The student should have completed,
Well, I think that's why we took out
or
the
may have
second
completed.
must.
Yeah, it doesn't
We
say
took out the
must.
second must and said receive a waiver,
Yeah, right, yeah, yeah,
or receive a waiver.
yeah. Whatever, okay.
So we'll fix the grammar and
Just
that.
finish, yeah, fix up the, yeah.
Yep.
All right. The next one is emergency nursing service plan. And I thought there was a little bit of confusion in that one. Let's see how's the best way to talk about it.
It's kind of hard to dispute this because it's really state law. I
I
think,
know, but there's this confusion between the school nurse.
are you on F?
I'm on A.
A.
I'm on A.
My understanding is this is a requirement,
School nurse,
and now we are
And
saying not only do we provide emergency services, but now we have to develop a plan.
Correct.
And my further understanding is Manitowoc is ahead of this and already has a plan.
That is correct.
yeah,
So
right.
it's really justifying the work that we're having them do.
Correct.
But why do we have the two X's in that first sentence? The school nurse, why don't we just have the school nurse, and eliminate the
I
last
think
one?
because we
Has developed and reviewed
we
relevant
require our
policies.
school nurses to also be registered nurses.
Yeah, I have to be registered.
Correct.
Some districts,
Okay,
Don't
okay,
have
so it's just
it's a
the
little
school
less
nurse,
than a
comma,
RN.
Yeah.
a registered
Yeah.
nurse. Okay. Has developed a plan, okay, that makes it
If
really
you only
clear.
checked a registered nurse, it could be a nurse off the street. So a
Yeah,
school
yeah,
nurse is
yeah.
our nurse, is the way I'm reading that, who also is a registered nurse.
There used to, I'm not sure it is, Stacy will know better than I, but before we could hire a school nurse, there is separate certification for school nursing, and there's separate classes that if you want to become a school nurse, a regular RN, if you don't take community health nursing in your RN program, you can't become a school nurse. You must have community health nursing. I'm not sure if that's the same standard or not, but that used to be, to get that license, you had to have in your coursework, community health nursing.
Yeah, and the other thing too, when we work the recommendations for a policy like this, what we would do is I review all of the ones that are up for review, and then I send them to the various experts in the area. So in this particular policy, I sent this policy via the Student Services Office to the nursing team, particularly Jenny Hins, who essentially is the author of our emergency school nursing plan, for her to do the recommendation. So I trust what she's marked here as being what's in the best interest of the district.
I think it's fine, I have no complaints, but
And maybe it makes sense to just put a registered nurse
Instead of
in
both.
parentheses.
Oh.
To further.
Yeah, I
define-
think in parentheses, that would do it.
That would further.
Because
define
it's
school nurse.
confusing, it seems to suggest
Yeah.
that there's more than one nurse
I
there.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
And if we have a school nurse, I mean, because
Yep.
it does in F refer to the nurse,
Yep.
the nurse shall,
yep.
and then the next paragraph, the nurse shall, again.
Would the committee be
So-
okay with, in parentheses, the school nurse, parentheses, a registered nurse?
A certified registered nurse.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think so. The parentheses would be,
well, if you're a registered nurse, you're certified.
Right.
yeah, okay. Yeah, just put it in parentheses, yeah.
Okay.
Because at the very end of that same paragraph, we go back to, upon the recommendation of the nurse. I mean, we're talking about someone with some real power and responsibility here. And I think that the other question I have is, do we choose here on C, second statement, the district administrator, parentheses, board, shall annually designate, I think we should eliminate board, I think. It should just be a unitary sort of situation. Do you know where I mean?
Yep, and that's not Xed. So
That's not Xed,
the
okay.
Xed one
So
is
that's,
district administrator. It's a choice.
yeah, I think we should make the choice that it's the district
Yeah.
administrator.
We feel so too.
Yeah,
We do report to the board annually, our
Sure.
nursing
That
service.
the nursing plan has to be approved by the.
Correct.
yeah, exactly right. yeah.
That's the oversight. Yeah.
So there should be no confusion there at all.
Correct.
And I think we'd be better off to simply eliminate board.
Well, it won't show up. It's just here now for you to see it as an
Just for
option.
us.
So when
Yeah.
you choose an X one like that, when we put it into the system, that language goes away. And it only shows what you chose.
The option.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
This is just so you see what choices we had, in case you have differing opinions. We
Okay.
keep it like this. Some districts will send their board only the language
That's changed.
that's.
That they
yep,
want.
That they want, and don't show you
Yeah.
the choice, but we show.
But as the
all
committee,
choice.
can we recommend that
Sure.
board, we want to, not respond with that as the option?
So what would be most appropriate is if you wanted to change, for example, there where it says C, where we marked the district administrator.
Right.
If you would rather that be the board, then you would amend section C.
Okay, okay.
To be
no.
X, the board.
Yeah.
In this case, I think it's matching what you want.
Okay,
I think
smashing.
what might be helpful, if, I don't know, Ruby's, like, if she unhighlighted in green board, so when we look at it, we realize, okay, that green means change, right?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
board is not the change. Are you following?
yeah,
what
we
I'm
don't,
saying?
yeah. I
Or
just-
does it, she just wholeheartedly go, it's all green? I don't.
So
That's kind of what the X does, is like.
the
that's what
green
they want.
indicates
Yeah, I guess
so these are all reviewed
That's
policies
what the
that we
X
already have
does,
passed.
yeah.
The green indicates new language.
Okay,
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we took green off of the word board, because we didn't.
We didn't
select
pick it. Gotcha. I see what you mean.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
And that's typically how she does every policy, and it does get a little confusing because.
Yeah, it
it's like,
does. It
well,
does
it's
get,
green.
for me,
It's green. I see what you mean. Yep.
But I don't know.
I can talk to her
Like
about
when,
that.
I don't know the highlighting tool.
I don't either. I'll have
Maybe
to
you
ask her.
can't.
Yeah, I'll ask her.
Okay. And any other stuff on that? The next policy is promotion, placement, and retention. My only comment on that is that the principle with a capital P should be used consistently throughout. Because in placement, in the last in definitions, and then you go down from promotion to placement, in that definition, it says the building administrator. I think it should be consistently used as principal. It should state principal. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, does it indicate principal in a place previous to that in this
No, but
language?
it does after that.
Oh, it does after that, okay.
It does after that, yeah.
So maybe Ruby can just check it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we wanted to say
It does say
principal.
principal, capital P.
So I do believe though that, just so everyone's aware, that in Neola's language, similar to, they don't really use superintendent, they use district administrator. So instead of principal, they use building administrator.
But they use principal down here.
Then change it to be
It's consistent, is that okay if we
I
just
think
change
it-
it all to building administrator, since it's more consistent with the language they use?
yes.
But there's more than one administrator in the building.
Right, but that would be
The
helpful in
principal,
terms.
principal is clearly the head administrator in the building. You
But
could-
sometimes, for example, at Lincoln, I had 2 assistant principals
Yep.
that I gave essentially building administrative authority on.
Sure, you
certain
can
things.
delegate,
I never
Right.
did that.
but I think, well, I don't know, it just makes, I don't know, what do you think? What do you think, Keith?
I like the principle.
Yeah, I think principal should be, since it's used a number of times later on in the policy, it seems to me that there's no problem. And for example, in the paragraph above appeals process, it says, to the principal, then the principal shall make the promotion decision based on the best interest of the child, contingent conditions, blah, blah, blah. What? And then it says, be part of the principal's promotion decision. So principal is used there three times in that one sentence. So it doesn't seem that it should be, if that's the case, it's not it's just not clear or consistent in the paragraph at the beginning under placement.
So we want principal?
I think so, that's what I would suggest. What do you think? He thought,
I would say, I think it's more definitive, it's much clearer. District administrator in Lee's example, I personally would not have done that because those decisions rely on the principal to make that decision, not giving somebody else that decision to do that. So I would have said, it's the principal's decision.
So
I
then,
think it just stays consistent.
do you want to make a motion?
Mary's got,
are you suggesting we go through every board policy then and start changing everything to principal?
No, just this one. I mean, I haven't looked at,
maybe when they come up for review.
I haven't noticed, yeah. When they come up for review. I mean, consistency is real important on these things,
All
it
right,
seems to
I
me.
will make a motion to, oh, we're not quite ready.
There we are, go ahead, I'll second it.
Yeah.
Well, we have a whole bunch of policies yet. Are we doing them?
But you just want to
No,
change this.
we're not doing it.
Okay.
We're only doing
So
these.
we're making a motion to amend
This principle, I mean, this,
5410,
yeah, 5410.
refer to the building administrator's principal consistently throughout this
Yeah,
policy.
right.
How's that sound?
That's cool.
Is
I'll
it-
second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, okay. They keep porking this stuff at us, so we have to do something with them. Third grade promotion. I don't know, what do you think? Well, first of all, under definitions, I hate it when people use, personal reading plan. I think at the very end of the first line, means reading plan provided for a 5-year-old kindergarten to third grade student. Instead of that, it should be who. Because a third grade student isn't a that. It's a who. Do you see what I'm saying? Just, you don't even know where I am, do you?
I do, I'm reading it.
Okay.
I guess, sure. I don't, I just, I trust Neola when they send us language that they're writing it, lawyers are writing this, so I guess.
Oh, God,
mean, I don't-
lawyers are probably some of the worst writers in the language, but nevertheless, I mean, you have to go to law school in order to figure out what they're saying.
I would say this one too is probably highly connected to Act 20 legislation,
Yeah.
so it's probably really
State statutes.
legislatively based.
State statutes are.
All right, well,
So
okay.
you wanna?
I can live with bad
writing.
writing, I guess.
You wanna make an amendment to clean up that relative pronoun?
No, I guess not. I think that's,
I have no problem with it.
there is a question down here on the, and on page 2, parental notification.
Page 2 toward the bottom.
Yeah, parental notification.
On third grade.
No later than 15 days after the reading.
I think it's our board policy for all assessment.
Okay.
Parents
It
are
says
notified.
the board shall provide the results of the reading readiness. Why the board?
It's all Act 20.
Yeah.
This is all Act 20
This is
legislation.
all Act 20,
This is
okay.
all Act 20 legal
All right,
legislation.
we can certainly delegate that to the chief administrator, or the district administrator. Okay. Let me see, what else do I have? Oh, the other, yeah, well, it's all Act 20, I guess, but I was thinking, because there's grandchildren in my family, I mean, there's both dyslexia and ADD. And they'd say diagnostic assessment for only dyslexia. It seems to me that that there's, but if it's Act 20,
So that's what
I
it is.
guess we're stuck, huh?
Well, that's what the legislation requirements are for districts to do. Like, the legislation says districts must do these things, and dyslexia is one of those things that's specifically called out. It doesn't call out other reading disabilities, it doesn't call out any of those, it just.
It doesn't,
specifically-
yeah, it doesn't, because my son has got a,
And I would say, best practice, right, what Act 20 really says, is a kid's not reading at proficiency. So we're gonna do some interventions, we're gonna monitor the progress along the way, if something's not working, we're gonna change it, if it is working, we're gonna continue, we're gonna keep parents notified along the way. Parents have a right to refer, which they've always had a right to refer. This is really just the legal jargon that spells all that out, that Act 20.
but what if a parent walks in and says, well, I mean, the law is the law, of course, but a parent comes in and says, like, my son has got a condition called dysgraphia.
Yep,
Sure.
And that, I mean, we couldn't figure out why he couldn't do something, and we got him.
yep.
I'm dyslexic, but he's dysgraphic, and, we're all screwed up in my family, so, but it's a little bit more complicated than just dyslexia, so,
Yep. And I think the basis of it is a parent has a right to refer.
okay.
And I think in recent special ed history, dyslexia is one of those areas that is not a specific disability area. You might have autism, you can have other health impairment, you can have a traumatic brain injury, but there's not a specific
Yeah.
impairment for dyslexia. So I
Yeah.
think that's why that's specifically named in that. Now, there's 100 other things that people could have impairment, you know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
think it really comes down to parents have a right to refer.
Well, in ADD, a school district doesn't diagose. That's a
Correct.
medical doctor doing that.
Yeah, that's right,
Yep.
yeah.
We don't step over that line.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question about that? Okay.
Thank you for being so thorough in your.
I didn't have
Analysis.
anything on the last two.
I just had
Did you?
the one question, I liked on the drug policy,
Oh, yeah.
that we further defined a lookalike. But then I wondered why we kept letter E in there. It seems redundant.
Letter E, look-alike
Where are you?
likes.
So we check marked I, yet we left E in there as lookalike. Maybe there's like a specific example where it made sense in our history.
Yeah,
So on that one, so typically, when there are choices that are allowed to be Xed or not Xed. It's telling us that, you can do it or not. And if they don't have that, typically, it's because it's in a statute of some sort, or that they're not giving you that choice.
Right.
So, I mean, that's why I see what you're saying there, but we left lookalikes because it's pronounced as not really an option, but put lookalike in there.
Sure.
That's probably why the other one did get checked.
So then potentially, your student handbooks
Yep,
are gonna have to be updated.
correct. Yep,
Which I think is important language for the kids to understand, that clarification in I.
I agree. We'll check with the
Okay.
secondary people on that.
I once had a student try to sell oregano.
Oh, really?
So did I. Same.
Did you really?
Yep, both, yeah, there's oregano, yep.
Smelled just like
Smelled-
pizza.
No
Yep.
kidding.
Pizza.
What kind of high does that give you?
Nothing,
Nothing.
absolutely nothing.
You have to be Italian.
But
Somebody a little upset.
You smell like turkey dressing.
Yeah, right, exactly.
knowing students.
That'd be more sage.
So, is there a motion to, recommend the adoption of these, or, the confirmation of these policies, with the exception of the cleanup?
The cleanup, I
Yeah.
wrote down just for clarification to take care of the in,
Yeah.
the one policy.
Yeah, just,
And put registered nurse in parentheses
Yeah.
in 5310.01. And in 5410, we're making sure that we replace building administrator with principal.
yep, okay, that's cool.
I make a motion to accept the lot
All right,
Second,
as amended.
okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Is there a motion to adjourn?
so move.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, good. We did it in less than an hour.